I got here, they moved me to the wideout room. But I had good leaders like Devere and Dane, all those dudes that helped me get to where I am today. So I'm blessed.
What was the biggest adjustment? Like you said, you box out receivers and stuff like that. Now, what was the biggest adjustment you think you had to make, Corey?
Route running. Not being used to run routes. As a running back, you're not really catching any passes, especially in high school. So just being able to run routes and get separation was really the hardest thing.
Urban Meyer said one of the things he'd like to see you do more of, and you've heard him say this too, is like break tackles and make plays too and stuff. How do you work on that? How do you become better at that?
Just open field running. We do drills at practice where wideouts versus DBs or wideouts versus linebackers where just make you miss drills. So we'll probably do more of that.
Was there much of an adjustment that you had to go through, like from an attitude standpoint, when the new coaching staff came in? Because he keeps referring to, making this 180-degree flip that you had from a year ago to now.
Yeah, I guess it's just a trust thing. Just getting new coaches and just these last couple years, I've had a different position coach basically every year. So I guess it's just a trust thing. When they first got here, nobody really trusted them. We didn't know what they were bringing to the table. But now, having a year under our belts, we got a way better relationship than we've had before.
Give us an idea of what was the first thought that went through your mind last year when Coach Meyer and the new guys came in? These guys are blank as compared to these guys are what now?
When they first came here, we had those little 4 or 5 a.m. workouts outside and in the snow. So I don't think anybody had a real good, anything good to say about them at that point. But now it's like everybody around here loves them. They're doing all the right things. They put us in the right position to win games. So we all love them now.
Philly, Coach Meyer said that Braxton's day to day. What are your expectations? How surprised would you be if he's not out there against Cal?
Very surprised. Braxton's a real hard worker. So I seen him earlier. He was in the training room rehabbing. So I expect him to do what a leader does, and he'll be in the training room every day, and I think he'll be fine.
Did he say anything to you about, hey, I'm going to play, or I expect to play?
Nah, we didn't talk about that.
Philly, what's it like managing injuries at this level of college football? Guys get hurt and coaches maybe have to decide how much to push them. It seems like, for instance, with Corey Linsley, they've been getting him back in, but not going too far with it.
Right.
What's that process like for coaches and players to figure out how much to play a guy coming off an injury?
At this level, I think it's much easier, especially with the technology that they have, and with these new machines they have in the training room, and being able, having so much time to get over here. We got great trainers that know exactly what they're doing. So, and I think the coaches are doing a good job of taking the process with Corey nice and slow and just breaking them back in, just to not put too much pressure on, especially in the last 2 games where, we needed him, but we didn't really need him much, so it wasn't really worth it. So I think that they're getting ready for Big Ten season.
So then how does that translate to a guy like Braxton? Does it make sense? Oh, let's take it easy with Braxton, and if we don't need him, keep him out? Or is it if he's healthy, throw him out there?
Yeah, I think it's basically if he's healthy, he's going to play. I think if he feels good enough and confident enough in whatever the injury is, I don't even know what it is, then he's going to play.
What kind of adjustments do you have to make? Braxton and Kenny are in the same offense, but they're not the same quarterback. As a receiver, when Kenny comes in the game, what sort of adjustments do you have to make as opposed to when Braxton's in there?
None at all, really. Like I said before, Kenny can run any play in the offense. Kenny does a lot of similar things that Braxton can do, except running, obviously. But when Kenny comes in the game, everybody's 100% confident that he can do the same thing.
But even with the running, when Braxton scrambles, I know you guys all have scramble rules.
Mm-hmm.
Is that something you have to worry about less when Kenny's in the game?
No, not at all. You seen us run?
Hey, Corey, Braxton is unable to play. Is there a little bit of a letdown, maybe? Not just because it's Braxton, but simply because it's a player you've counted on. It could be anybody, but it happens to be Braxton in this situation. If he doesn't play, could that be a little bit of a letdown?
Nah, not at all. Not a letdown. We know if Braxton can't play, it won't be his decision. They're going to have to pull him off the field or tell him that he can't play, because I know he's going to do everything in his power to play. But if he don't, we got a backup that'll step in and do a pretty good job.
You guys are obviously comfortable with Kenny, but is it kind of something that kind of progressed over a while because Braxton has left games multiple times? Do you think that's kind of helped in your guys' familiarity and comfortability with him?
Nah. Kenny's been around here a long time, and especially this being my 4th year, I've been with Kenny since freshman year. He's been the person who I've been working out with a lot, especially with these routes and stuff. So, just Kenny does everything that Braxton does at practice. Kenny gets the same amount of reps as Braxton does at practice. So the timing and everything is always going to be there.
You guys
What's
were
the
obviously a
difference?
successful road team last year. What's the key to being successful on the road? This is a long trip going all the way out to California. What's the key
Just-
to being good?
Just staying focused, basically. You know, we're gonna have, it's a night game, so we're gonna have all day waiting around, and as long as we can stay focused and not worry about everything that's going on outside of us, and just stick to the plan and do what we got to do, then we'll come out with the win.
Have you ever been to the Bay Area?
No,
Would you like to go see the Golden Gate Bridge and downtown San Francisco and all that stuff? Or,
no.
I mean, how do you focus like that, Billy? I mean, knowing you're in kind of a sort of an exotic. Well, y'all will be in Oakland, but sort of an exotic locale. You know,
Close to an exotic.
Are you curious about what's around? You know?
No, not at all.
Well, why not? Why not?
Because I don't think there's anything there anyway.
Really?
No, not at all.
So it's not special playing in California.
Not California. It's not a special state.
Hey Philly, with as many guys, as many options as you guys have at the skill positions, I know Coach Meyer said last week, you know, in week one, he felt like they didn't get the ball to you enough. Do you guys, you know, sort of wonder, oh, how are the touches going to go this week? I mean, it just seems like, you know, there's lots of different guys that Braxton can throw it to, or you guys can hand it off to. What's it like as a guy? I'm sure you want the ball as much as you can get, but do you think about that very much?
I think it would be crazy for me to say I don't, but I think everybody, like most of the skilled players here, we've come to be more team oriented. So I mean, it's every game there's going to be somebody who's not going to be as involved as they want to be, but I guess they kind of got to just swallow their pride. And I mean, the overall goal is that we get the win. So if we get the win at the end of the day, then I mean, how upset can anybody be?
Corey, when you
What's
guys
the
drop
difference? What's the difference between Braxton and Kenny in the huddle? I mean, you said that they're not very different on the field, but in the huddle, are they the same guy there too?
Oh, no, not at all. Kenny's, I mean, he's crazy. He's kind of like when he comes in the huddle, he's loud, obnoxious. He's real. You can tell he's real confident, like with everything he does. He talks a lot of trash on the field. So when Kenny's in the game, I mean, he kind of hypes everybody up.
You mean to other play? I mean to defenders
And
and,
how about
stuff.
to
He
defenders?
gets into it. I
Yeah,
mean,
to defenders.
Give me an example from Saturday.
I can't say the words verbatim. Yeah, it's not.
You can
It's
have
rated R.
Were they questioning him being in there? I mean, is it give and take? You're saying, I mean, does he like being questioned about his credentials? I guess. Yeah.
I don't think he's questioned anymore. I think everybody knows when he gets in the game, like what's going to happen.
Yeah.
Corey, when
So
you
he
guys
didn't
drop
say
in the
just-
polls, does that give you further evidence, proof that you guys really are the hunters or the hunters? Does it give you guys more ammunition?
No, I mean, we're not worried about the polls. We know if we keep winning, I mean, they only could drop us so far. I mean, how far down can you drop an undefeated team?
Kind of on that note, you tweeted this morning that you're a big fan of Mark May. What kind of spurred those comments, and care to expand?
I mean, he said I had a good catch on Saturday, right? And
Yeah.
a good push off.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's why I love him.
One last question. How's Braxton in the huddle compared to Kenny?
Braxton's not. I mean, he's not as obnoxious and crazy as Kenny is. I mean, Braxton's a leader in the huddle, and it's night and day where he is vocally in the huddle. But I mean, he's not really the
He's
big
quiet
trash,
off, yeah.
the big trash talker like Kenny G is.
Just more polite.
Way more
Thank
polite
you, Corey.
player.
You guys don't.